Lesson 6, Formatting Page Elements with HTML, brought to you by T3, Teaching Today's Technologies. Narrated by Jeanette Passanisi. Upon completing this tutorial, you will be able to understand HTML formatting methods, align text, format characters, define an address block, control font selection, customize your fonts, create an ordered list, and create unordered lists. Understanding HTML formatting methods. HTML allows you to format text page content at the tag level, making it easier to identify valuable content and getting around your site. HTML does have several tags that allow you to add basic formatting to a web page. HTML pages can be formatted using the following methods: alignment, character formatting, font formatting, block level formatting, and list formatting. Let's take a look at alignment options. By default, web page text is aligned along the left edge of the browser window. Alignment attribute options can be applied to the paragraph, heading, and text block level. And these can be set your text to be aligned to the left, aligned centered, aligned right, and justify. Character formatting. HTML character formatting can affect text weight, posture, and declaration. Character formatting is used for emphasizing words or short sections of text. They're considered as weight would be bold. The tag you would use is strong. The next one is posture, which will give you an italic type. The tag again here is EM. And the last one is decoration, which will give you an underline. Font formatting. HTML includes a tag set for changing the font formatting in small sections of text, as well as a tag for specifying font formatting at the page level. When used appropriately, both of these tags allow you to create your web page appearance to change the typeface, the color, and the size of the text. Font formatting is useful for creating pages that appeal to a specific audience and add personality to your page. One of the fonts you see in front of you is the P tag nested with styles. As you can see, after you've typed in your attribute style, you can then set up your alignment. Another example of font formatting would be applying two tag sets to a specific word or to a group of words. If you open up with strong and you have a nested tag for italics in it, you will have to close with strong. This is known as the first one in, last one out programming style. So if I open with strong and then I do emphasize, I must then close first with emphasize and then close lastly with strong. Moving forward, let's look at block level formatting. Block level formatting are tags in which other elements can be nested in and allow you to control entire sections of content. Some block level tags require that the use of attributes and values. Others are predefined to produce changes and are often used without additional attributes. Block level tags can include the division tag, also known as the div tag. The division tag uses attributes to affect changes in text. The next one is the block quote tag. Block quotes allow the amount of white space on either side of the text to be affected, so that you can create what's also known as a gutter or white space. The third tag is the address tag. The address tag alters both the physical appearance and marks the content, making it recognizable to text readers as well as to indexing and catalog software. These three tags are all placed inside of the body section of a web page. Lists. The most commonly used lists are ordered lists, in which items are in the list appear in sequential numbers or letters, and then unordered lists, which use bullets instead of numbers. To format an ordered list, you designate a series of lines of text as list items and then enclose them in the appropriate parent element. Here is an example. You use the same method to create an unordered list. The parent list element for an ordered list is OL. The parent list element for an unordered list is UL. Both the ordered list and the unordered list use the child element list item, LI, to define each item in the list, as you can see from these two examples. Controlling font selection. You have used character and block formatting features to change the weight, posture, and alignment of text. You can also change the typeface by using the font tag. Here's an example. Using the font tag, we now designate the style of the font to choose from a group of fonts known as a font family. In this example, it's looking at Century School Book, followed by Times New Roman, followed by the Times font, and then if none of these are available from the browser, it will go to some sort of serif font. You can apply changes to the text at a page level by adding formatting instructions in the head section of your document. You're going to be using a tag called base font. Base font closes onto itself. Customizing fonts. In addition to changing a font family, the font and base font tags also allow you to change the color, size, and text on a page. By applying the color style and specifying a color code value, you can change the color of a font so that it's something other than black. In this example, if you use the font tag followed by the style attribute, we can change the color using the hexacode number 339999 to get a teal font effect. You can also change the font size with the font style size value using percentage or pixels. And lastly, you can also use an older method to customize your fonts using the attributes face, color, and size, as you can see here from this example. So the font face here would be set only to Century School Book, and if that was not available to the browser, it would default to Times. Using the font size 5, using the color aqua or teal, and that would affect your text. Now we're ready for the lab portion of Unit C for formatting page elements with HTML. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're once again in Paradise Mountain in our web projects folder. Then we're going to go ahead and open up one of our data files. So File, Open, and I'm going to navigate to where I have my data files. Mine are on the desktop, but yours might be someplace else. I'm going to scroll until I see HTML data, and I'm going to open up Unit C. Once I've done that, I'm going to find the text file HTMC1. And the beauty of PSPad is it's going to open it right up. Right off the bat, you can see there are certain things that are missing. 3 meta tags that each one of our class files need to have. So I'm going to go into Index. I'm going to open up. I'm going to grab those 3 meta tags so I can get credit for the work that I do. Go back into HTMC1, and I'm going to paste that right under the title. Doesn't matter if it's above or below, but I need to have this in every single one of my files so I can get credit for work that I do for this class. After I've done that, I'm going to notice that in the files the publisher gives us, there's no doc declaration. So again, I'm going to go back into Index, and I'm going to grab that line 1, the doc type declaration. because this helps the browser interpret the file and shows the information that's been coded in the way that we want it. Oh. So again, here I am. Hit enter once, go up, paste in that doc declaration. And as you can see, we're using HTML 4.01 transitional. Now, with that in there, I'm going to go ahead and save this right off the bat to rates.htm in the Paradise root folder. So again, File, Save As, go to my storage device, go to my site folder, and call it rates all lowercase rates.htm and hit save. So I'm going to open up my browser and I'm going to change index in here. Just type it right into the address bar, highlight index and type in rates.htm, and now I can see that information. You can tell they've added a few different links for our navigation, but down here notice that this information is not our class footer. So I'm going to go back immediately, scroll down to the bottom of this page, find the page modify line, and this time I'm going to put in a horizontal rule. So open tag HR for horizontal rule space / there. Then I'm going to go into index and grab those last 3 lines before the body tag. Line 37 in this case through 39, so between the 2 P tags, everything. Copy it, go into rates, paste it in. Let's take a look. Control save, bring up our browser, refresh. Here's our horizontal rule. Here's what the publisher from our textbook wants us to have, and here's what your instructor wants you to have. Very good. Let's minimize that and scroll up to the top. Once we're there, we're going to locate the opening paragraph tag of your site navigation bar at the top of the page and click between the P and the close tag. So right up here, here it is on line 12, we're going to add some text alignment. Right now everything is lining up to the left. Let's have that information be centered. So here we're going to type in the tag style equals open quote text hyphen align colon space center. Close it with a semicolon to end the statement, and then put in the close of quote. Let's go ahead and save this and see if it actually worked. So we're testing. Here it is. Hit the refresh button, and now you can see our navigation now is centered. Beautiful. Minimize that. Go back into your HTML document rates, and then we're going to locate the paragraph that says call the resort office. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click just before the close of the P tag here. We're going to add a space, and here we're going to type in style again equals open quote text align text hyphen align colon, and here we're going to type in justify. Save your work, bring it up in the browser, refresh, and now as you can see, now that I have like multiple paragraphs, notice how it's justified here on the right as well as on the left, so it lines up. Very good. Let's minimize that. And the next step we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to locate the paragraph that begins with for questions or comments. So let's go ahead and scroll down. And here it is. And in that P tag, we're going to hit a space. And we're going to put style equals text align. Let's go ahead and type that in. Style equals open quote text align colon space right. When I go ahead and I save it and I bring it up in Internet Explorer and I refresh now, we're going to have multiple types of alignments going on here. So we have just our regular center, we have our justified, and we have our right. Now I'm going to pull this out a little bit more. And you lose your justification, formatting look, but you know it's there. Let's go on to formatting characters. So again, formatting characters, you can add a bold style or an italic style, but we call them strong and emphasis. In this page, we're going to go ahead and look for the words watch this space, which are right here. And we're going to go ahead and type in the word strong. And then we also want it to be italic. So I'm going to put EM for emphasized. And then after, we're going to close emphasize first because it was the last tag and they're nested. And then we're going to close strong. And yes, I could have used bold and italic or B and I, but those have been depreciated, and I want to stay current with XHTML and DHTML and XML. And that's why I use emphasize and strong. Plus, emphasize and strong are used by text readers while the B and the I tags are not. So let's go ahead and save this now. Bring up our browser, take a view, so refresh, and now we can see that that is now emphasized and strong. Moving right along, we're going to define an address block. This is one of my favorite blocks. We're going to scroll down to the bottom of the page where our information is in. So line 24 roughly. I like to have a little bit of space. So well, there we go. So we have some working room. And once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and type in address block. So that tag is actually pretty simple. We're going to replace the P and type in address. Then we're going to come down over to this other P and replace the close P with a close address. Let's save our work and view it. Again, this text readers use this, and you can see that it's now italic and it's emphasized. But let's go ahead and center this text as well. I'm going to go back into here, go into my address, type in style equals open quote text hyphen align colon center, and make sure I close my quote. Now for my students, this is how I want your footer to look. So make sure that you add this snippet of code, save it, bring up your browser, refresh it, and now you can see that it's centered. You can also do that to page modified. But actually, we're going to delete it out because it's a little overkill here. So I'm going to go back up to line 22 and just remove it, save my work. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to control our fonts by using the font tag. Again, I'm going to make sure I'm in index this time. So we're all done with Paradise. I like to close it so I don't get too messed up. I'm going to right click and hit close because I've already saved it. And I'm back in index in my Paradise folder. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top. And in here, I'm going to find that H1 heading for Paradise Mountain. I'm going to click in between the H1 tag and Paradise. And I'm going to use an old font that's been depreciated but still in use today. It's good for doing one line of text or a couple of lines of text. I'm going to change the font. So open up your tag and use the tag font, F-O-N-T. Then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to define the style of the font. So style equals open quote font hyphen family colon space, and we're going to give the browser a bunch of fonts to choose from. So Century, Schoolbook, then Times New Roman, then Times, and then serif. So, and let me just fix my text wrap. There we go. I'm going to close that statement with a semicolon. Make sure I have closed my double quote, and then I'm going to make sure I close my tag. After the Paradise Mountain Family Resort, now I'm going to come in here, and because font is after or nested inside of the H1 tag, I want to close the font before I close the H1 tag. So close font. There we go. Now, let's try Arial. So now I'm going to type in Arial so that you can see the difference. Save my change, bring up the browser, and then hit refresh. You can see that there is quite a difference between the Arial and the Century School Book. I'm going to minimize that, take out Arial, delete, save it, Control S, bring up the browser again, refresh the page, and you can see now we've gone back to a serif font. Good, let's minimize that. Go back into our index page, and then we're going to click before the closing heading tag in the head section, and we're going to define a base font for the whole entire page. So the base font is used in the head section, while your div tag, your address tag, and your block quote tags are used in the body section. So let's go ahead and click after title, hit return once, open up a tag. Now base font is a open tag, so it closes onto itself. So base font space style, and this I'm going to give it a group of fonts to choose from in case one is not available. Font hyphen family, and then colon, Verdana, Arial, and then other fonts without the decoration, also known as sans serif. And then because I'm done with this, I'm going to go space, backslash. I don't know why I have that extra quote there, so I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to bring up that page again. Right now, look at our body of our text. It's all times. When I hit refresh, now it's all Verdana. I'm going to minimize this, and that's controlling our font selection. Now we're ready to customize our fonts. Now with this part of the exercise, if you're following along in the book, we're on page C12. We're going to change colors. We're going to go ahead and locate the opening font tag in the level 1 page heading and clicking between the semicolon. So basically what we're going to be doing is in the font right here on line 11, after we close the serif, we're going to click in between the semicolon and the double quote, and in here we're going to type in a space and the word color. Once we've done that, we're going to use a hexadecimal, so colon, space, pound sign. A hexadecimal is just a fancy word for a 6-number color code that colors are defined with the web. So we're going to use 3366. 33, we're going to close that with a semicolon, and then we're going to save our work. Once we've done that, we're going to pull up our browser, refresh it, and watch what happens to Paradise. It's now green. Now you don't have to use hexa numbers to define your colors. If I go back now and I change this, I'm going to cut it, and I type in red. It doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase. And I save it, and I bring up my browser, and I refresh it. My text is now red. It's a little hard on the eyes, so let's go back, get rid of red, put back in our pound sign, put in our hexadecimal 336633 again, save it, and view it. And you can see we went back to a nice green. After we've added that color, we can go ahead and we're going to type in a font size now. So we're going to locate the navigation bar at the top of the page, and we click after the opening paragraph, and we're going to type in the following information. So here's our paragraph tag, and now we're going to type in font style equals open quote font hyphen size, and this is going to only affect the navigation bar if we do this correctly, colon 75%, close the semicolon, the statement with a semicolon, close the double quote, and we don't have to close the tag. And then just before the close of P, down here, I'm going to close my font tag. When I save that now, and I pull up my browser, and I hit refresh, notice how now my navigation controls are 75%, the 25% smaller. When no font size is specified, the page appears in the default font size, which also is about roughly 11 points in Microsoft Word, or a font size of 4. We're going to go ahead and just quickly add in our alignment, or actually we're missing some pages, aren't we? So if I go into activities, contact us, and home, we'll update this at the end so everything that matches. Minimize. Now we're ready to create an ordered list. We're done with this page, so make sure that you've saved it. And now we're going to go where we store our data files by going File, Open, and we're going to navigate. Mine's on my desktop, but you're going to navigate to where your data files are stored, HTML data files. Open up Unit C, and then once there, we're going to open up the htm_c-2 text file. Once you've opened that up, again, we're going to go ahead and put in some of the information that's missing. So let's go back to index. Let's grab our document type by copying it. Go back in, Control V to paste that in. Go back into index, grab our medi tags. Copy that. Go back into our text file. Come down into underneath title, above the base font. Paste in our medi tags. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to click back into index, scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to grab everything here from line 38 down. Control copy. Go back into our HTMC2 file, and I'm going to click on line 48, and we're just going to put in a horizontal rule, space, and then we're going to paste that in. Now that we have that information in there, we're ready to save this. So let's scroll back up to the top, hit File, Save As. And once we've done that, we're going to find where our site folder is. So I'm going to my flash drive, I'm going into my web projects, and I'm going into Paradise. And if you're following along in the book, this is C-14. And what you want to do is then you want to double click into Activities. And we're going to call this index.htm. It's going to tell us we're going to overwrite, and we do want to overwrite. So we're going to click OK. And we've updated that file. Now that we've updated that file, we're going to click into our browser program just to see what has changed. So here's Events and Activities. Isn't that nice? They've already done the formatting for us up here, so our navigation bar is centered. Down here we have the links, we have Design By. We should probably go back and make that before we continue centered. So let's go ahead and minimize this. Just go down to the bottom. And in that P tag, we're going to go ahead and add again address, style, equals, open quote, text hyphen align, center, close the statement with a semicolon, close that open quote, and then replace the P tag down here with another address. Once we've done that, we're going to save it, and we're going to bring it up in Internet Explorer, refresh our page, then you're going to notice that your footer is now centered and italicized. Oh, good. Minimize that back and scroll up to the top. We're going to click the Text Editor Program button on the taskbar, drag to select P below the Level 3 heading, and then press Delete. So let's find our Level 3 heading. And here's our P on line 23. And the line is going to begin with guest under the age of 16. Once you've found that, you're going to find the Level 3 heading which is rules and regulations, and then you're going to come down to that P tag, and you're going to actually remove that P tag here. Once you've done that, you're going to replace it with the ordered list tag. So open OL, and that's telling the browser to get ready to create a numbered list for us, or a parent list for us. Then we're going to scroll down until we see the close of P, which is a little bit further down. On my PS pad, it's on line 43, and I can see the P tag, so I'm just going to replace that P with an OL for ordered list. When I save it now and I view it in the browser and I refresh it, I'm still not going to have the bullets, but notice how everything moved in. So that's what the OL and the UL for ordered lists and unordered lists do. But now we want to add our bullets. Let's minimize. And we'll scroll up to find that first OL. Here it is, ordered list. And we're going to click in front of guests. And on this line, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop guests down the line, because I always like to separate my ordered list, my parent element. I like to separate it from my child element, which is an LI for a list item. So let's go ahead and type in that LI, open tag, LI, close it. And then at the end of that line, I'm going to replace the BR with a close LI. Because it's a tag set, you're going to have that backslash in front of the tag name. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to, instead of typing all this over again, I'm going to work smarter by copying my LI, and at the beginning of each one of these, I'm going to paste that in by using Control V. So there's another one, and this is going to define each one of those bullet items. Scroll down. Here's another one. Here's another one. And last but not least, guests. Now that I've done that, I'm going to actually drop this OL on its own line. So I know that's the end of my ordered lists. And now I'm going to replace all of those BRs. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work from the bottom and work my way back up. I'm going to close all those list items, LI. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to replace all of these BRs for breaks with the LI. The LI, the close of LI, tells it to drop down the line. And let's go through and do all of these. I'm going to scroll up. I know I have a few more. Oh, I have one more. I'm going to save my work. Control S. Going to bring up a browser. I'm going to hit refresh, and all of a sudden, magically, the numbers show up. And that's how you add an ordered list. Let's go ahead and minimize that. The last part of this tutorial will be creating an unordered list. So with our index file still open from our activities folder, we're going to go ahead and open up the file htm_c3. So file open. I'm going to navigate to where my files are stored. Double click to open it up. I'm going to select everything. So Control A will select everything, and Control C will copy. I'll go back into my index.htm, and I'll find that paragraph that ends with our center of family fun place, and then I'll hit enter twice, 1, 2, and then I'm going to just paste that in, Control V. And now you can see I have all that information in here. I'm done with that text file, so I might as well just close it, file close. And then once in there, I'm going to make this an unordered list. We're going to look for the P tag that starts with the staff at the center. And here it is, the staff at the activity center. And we're going to add another enter and go up and make this an unordered list. The tag that you're going to use is UL. And as you can see, it's red because it's looking for the close. So I'm going to come down here to line 33, I believe it is, above the Ask Us, We Can Help line. And I'm going to close that unordered list. UL. And as you can see, they now match. So it's a tag set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to turn these into some bullets. And I actually have one, I'm in one too low. So right here, this whole paragraph, I'm just going to cut it and move it up a line. And then I'm going to come down to where my UL is for my unordered list. And I'm going to change all of these P tags here to list items. So I'm going to just bring that right over. Type in LI for list item. And then I'm going to go down a line, and they're actually the list items for the next 4 lines or so. So I'm going to copy the LI, paste it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't need this P tag anymore, so I'm just going to remove it. You're going to notice at the end of each one of these lines, 26 through 31, it says BR space backslash. We're going to change those all to backslash LIs for list item closed. And here too, so we'll do backslash I. And of course, you know my motto, work smarter, not harder. Copy it, highlight them, and replace those other ones. And almost done. Just got to do a little cleanup up here. And once I've done that, I can go ahead and save it. And I can view it in a browser. What I'm going to do, actually, this time I'm just going to open it up in PSPad. And as you can see now, I have a bulleted list for the unordered. And I have my numbered list for my ordered. And that concludes this lesson for formatting page elements with HTML. Thank you for watching.